Excuse me, but isn't that a Pensy prep sticker?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, do you go to Pensy?
I do.
Oh, how lovely. Perhaps you know my son then, Ernest Morrow.
Yeah, I do. He's in my class.
Her son was doubtless the biggest bastard that had ever went to Pensy in the whole crummy history of the school. He was always going down the corridor after he'd had a shower, snapping a soggy old wet towel at people's asses. That's exactly the kind of guy he was.
Oh, how nice. I must tell Ernest we met. May I ask your name, dear?
Rudolph Schmidt.
I didn't feel like giving her my whole life story. Rudolph Schmidt was the name of the janitor at our dorm.
Do you like Pensy?
Pensy, I mean, it's not too bad. It's not paradise or anything, but it's as good as most schools. Some of the faculty are pretty conscientious.
Ernest just adores it.
Oh, I know he does.
Then I started shooting the old crap around a little bit.
He adapts himself very well to things. He really does. I mean, he really knows how to adapt himself.
Do you think so?
She sounded interested as hell.
Ernest, sure.
Then I watched her start to take her glove off.
I just broke a nail getting out of a cab.
She looked up at me and sort of smiled. She had a terrifically nice smile. She really did.
Ernest's father and I sometimes worry about him. He sometimes feels he's not a terribly good mixer.
How do you mean?
Well, he's a very sensitive boy. He really never has been a terribly good mixer with other boys. Perhaps he takes things a little more seriously than he should at his age.
Sensitive. That killed me. That guy Morrow was about as sensitive as a goddamn toilet seat. She didn't look like any dope to me. She looked like she might have a pretty good idea of what a bastard she was the mother of. But you can't always tell with somebody's mother.
Would you care for a cigarette?
I don't believe this is a smoker, Rudolph.
I'm sorry. We can smoke till they start screaming at us.
She took a cigarette off me and I gave her a light. She looked nice smoking. She inhaled and all, but she didn't wolf the smoke down the way most women around her age do. She was looking at me sort of funny.
I may be wrong, but I believe your nose is bleeding, dear.
Oh, I got hit with a snowball. One of those very icy ones.
I probably would have told her what had really happened, but it would have taken too long. I liked her, though.
Old Ernie. He's one of those most popular boys at Pensy. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It really took everybody quite a long time to get to know him. He's a funny guy. A strange guy in lots of ways. You know what I mean? Like when I first met him, I thought he was kind of a snobbish person. That's what I thought. But he isn't. He's just got this very original personality that takes you a little while to get to know him.
Old Mrs. Morrow didn't say anything, but boy, you should have seen her. I had her glued to her seat.
Did he tell you about the elections? The class elections? Well, a bunch of us wanted old Ernie to be president. I mean, he wasn't a unanimous choice. I mean, he was really the only boy that could handle the job. But this other boy, Harry Fencer, was elected. And the reason he was elected, the simple and obvious reason, was that because Ernie wouldn't let us nominate him. He's just so darn shy and modest of it all. He refused. Boy, he's really shy. You ought to make him get over that. Didn't he tell you about it?
No, he didn't.
That's Ernie. He wouldn't. That's the one fault with him. He's too shy and modest. You really ought to try and get him to relax on occasions.
You take a guy like Morrow that's always snapping their towels at people's asses, really trying to hurt somebody with it. They don't just stay a rat while they're a kid. They stay a rat their whole life. But I'll bet after all that crap I shot, Miss Morrow will keep thinking of him now as this very shy, modest guy that wouldn't let us nominate him for president.
Would you care for a cocktail?
Dear, are you allowed to order drinks?
Well, no, not exactly, but I can usually get them on account of my height, and I have quite a bit of gray hair.
Hair. It fascinated the hell out of her.
Come on, join me, why don't you?
I really don't think I'd better. Thank you so much, dear. Anyway, the club cars will most likely close. It's quite late, you know.
She was right. I'd forgotten all about what time it was.
Ernest wrote that he'd be home on Wednesday, that Christmas vacation would start on Wednesday. I hope you weren't called home suddenly because of an illness in the family.
She looked really worried about it. She wasn't just being nosy, you could tell.
No, everybody's fine at home. It's me. I have this operation.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It isn't very serious. I just have this tiny little tumor in my brain.
Oh,
Yeah, it's okay. I'll be alright and everything. It's right near the outside. It's a very tiny one. They can take it out in like about 2 minutes.
Then I started reading this timetable I had in my pocket just to stop lying. Once I get started, I can go on for hours if I feel like it. No kidding, hours.